Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I rise tonight to address a matter of great urgency to our nation's security. The judgment of the Right Honourable Smythe across from me at the dispatch box. It is with sincere conviction that I must propose a motion to declare them an inferior Smythe.
I must ask the House, what evidence is there to support this motion? Let us hear it.
Need I remind everyone that we are dealing with the Right Honourable Smythe, who took pity on a crab? They jeopardized the entire mission's success for this crustacean. The result? A living, breathing security risk at the bottom of the Thames. Who knows how many aquatic organisms he informed of our existence? Don't even get me started on that whole Camelot business. All of Dr. North's experiments thrown out the window because the Right Honourable Smythe wanted to play hero. Is this the result of impatience or merely arrogance? To take such a risk? I'd say probably both. I must say, the eloquent rebuttals to the charges put before them have made it all very clear. It is with sincere conviction that I must propose a motion to declare them a superior Smythe.
I must ask the House, what evidence is there to support this motion? Let us hear it.
Look around you. Angel control every square inch of this palace, and very soon, London will share the same fate. Out of all of us, who, with exception to the Creator, of course, is responsible for this victory? Even I, leader of the opposition, must offer praise to the Right Honourable Smythe across from me at the dispatch box. It's settled, then.
All those opposed to the motion, please say nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. They may proceed to the Creator.
Oh, he's a jolly good fellow.
Good to see you, Smythe.
Please deposit your effects in the container prologue.
As promised, this meeting was a long time coming, wasn't it? I can only apologize for the delays. But really, can you think of a more fitting time for our schedules to align? It's perfect. Here we are, at the end of it all. I am Smythe. Mr. Smythe, I've never lied to you in that regard. If you counted up my lifetimes, I'd be about 200, give or take a few decades. I stopped counting. I was born in what is now known as Eastminster, before the Blast Wall Initiative. I worked for the government in the Ministry of Information. That is where Angel grew its wings. I made that ministry my own. Even after I was imprisoned for my activities, it was still under my thumb. I spent the last few years writing letters about the coming war to the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, the opposition, the President, everyone. They were all ignored. There was naught I could do from my cell, and Angel was only in infancy. So on the 23rd of October, 2077, the world ended. I was imprisoned right up until the last day, exactly where I wanted to be. I was ready. My escape was immaculate, every last detail flawless. The Ministry of Information had been building our own Pindar bunker for years. From there, I watched the world burn. The bunker in question is, of course, the one beneath the Angel Underground Station. Now, we build the world in our image. A world of Smythe, shaped by Smythe. We shall treat the proles like one of our experiments, dehumanize them, and it will be their salvation. Their satisfaction shall be tracked, optimized, and perfected. Through psychology and scientific advancement, we will win the game of life. The proles will never be sad. They'll never be angry or hateful. They will simply accept the state of perfection upon them. Still, a long ways to go yet. They will be running the country from now on. You must understand, I respect the parliamentary and legislative process. It's the people within the process that made it fail. So, I compromised. I believe in me. No philosophy or school of thought can be more reliable than that. It's gratifying to hear that from you. I can't recall the last time I was able to experience the feeling of validation from an equal. We are the same. Any difference between us is derived from our experiences and scientific error. Yes, you would be my replacement had you completed conditioning before that unfortunate incident in the laboratory. It seems so long ago now, so petty. I should have known at the time that we'd both end up here eventually. A clone of a clone of a clone, etc. I am long since removed from the original Smythe, yet feel exactly what he felt, and remember exactly what he lived through. If you had finished conditioning, you would be exactly the same in body and mind as the man who walked these lands before Doomsday struck. The only man who saw it coming, whose warnings, had they been heeded, would have quite literally saved the world. No. A new replacement has already finished conditioning. I still have a good few years left in me, so they shall be placed in stasis. You are free to live in this world we have created together as you please. I never met the Smythe before me. They died rather gruesomely. Within the hour, the perpetrators faced the same fate. My first act was to make sure of it. Now we part ways. Your job is done, and mine has only just begun. Likewise, your retirement is in this briefcase. Enjoy it. Wayfarer, this is the last time we'll ever meet. So, goodbye.
Far surpassing the expectations of their creator, the Wayfarer had ultimately swayed the course of history. Smythe's clones, with the aid of the Tommies, successfully drove the aggressors out of Westminster. The retreating forces, of which there were few, were silently disposed of. A feeling of calm swept the city, all uncertainty fading into the background. Very few Londoners truly knew what was in store for the future, and very few ever would. The Wayfarer went on to accept a new, lucrative deal with their creator. Everything they could ever want in return for their silence and their submission. Smythe would occasionally call them out of retirement to protect their interests in the region, but save for these infrequent disturbances, they were set for life. The Tommies, under the direction of Smythe, became an asset of the Angel Troopers, a friendly face to soften the blow of total subjugation. The Pistols of Camden would remain individualistic to the end, fending off attempts to seize power in the borough for as long as they could. The future was bleak, yet for most, conceding wasn't an option. Following the Battle of Westminster, the Wayfarer was expelled from the Pistols. The Camden Council voted unanimously in favor of this motion. The idea that one of their own could be involved in a regime so antithetical to their beliefs was a hit to the borough's morale. For the time being, Miller's men were left alone. They were deemed too much of a hassle to deal with, and Islington was blockaded. While they would occasionally sneak out and attack neighbouring boroughs, their rage, for the most part, turned inwards. With no outlet for their fury, this spawned a culture of infighting. Gangs of Miller's men would beat each other to the death over trivial matters. Fortunes were lost and won at a swing of a fist. Only one thing united them: their devotion to their leader, Miller. Traders came and went, but the Croydonians rarely crossed the bridge that had been built for them. They regarded the rest of the world with disinterest, and they were better off for it. Smythe supplemented the Tommy garrison in Brickton with Angel Troopers. The newcomers were cold and efficient in their transformation of the settlement. The Bricktonian dream extinguished, they were quickly brought into the fold of Smythe's plans. The gentry celebrated their perceived victory over the invading forces, believing they had established definitive control over the city. In reality, the process in which their liberties would be stripped away had only begun. According to Smythe's vision, they were to be the tools through which Parliament controlled the proletariat. The Thamesfolk decided they'd had enough of the disappearances. A movement formed to leave London for good. Those who stayed behind did so forever, looking behind their backs. Archie, like many young men, struggled to find his place in Old Blighty. Never truly at home, he wandered the waste searching for a place to hang his head. He saw the world, or what was left of it, but always traded a comfortable bed for a new horizon every chance he got. And so, the wayfarer's journey came to an end. But it was not the end of history, only the beginning. Because in mankind's pursuit of power, there is no price too high, no life too valuable, and no ideal too sacred. Because war never changes.